Okay, I really wasn't planning on doing this, but again, you get gold dust every once in a while. So if you want to know what narcissistic revisionist history or narcissistic gaslighting or both at the same time look like, here we go.
You know what I mean?
It's WWE Champions time.
No, I have no plan. I don't even know where SmackDown airs. We're not going to do SmackDown this week. It's just going to be about Monday Night Raw that day after. I don't even know where SmackDown is.
I rolled back a little
No
too
clue.
far. But someone brings up WWE Champions because he's talking about the wrestling show bullshit.
No, this has nothing to do with WWE Champions. I have no plans on bringing back WWE Champions. We had dabbled.
All someone said is, will we do more WWE Champions gameplay if we do a show? This whole toxic, gaslighty, revisionist history rant is all because all one person said was, hey, are we going to do some more WWE Champions gameplay since you seem to have an interest in wrestling again?
Dabbled with that and talked about it. And as you saw, there was really no demand or reason to bring it back. Again, the whole deal with WWE Champions is very simple. WWE Champions is a game, a mobile game that I played in my own spare time.
And still play.
I never publicly talked about it. It never should have crossed over to the public eye whatsoever. Okay? It was obsessed, crazy, unhinged losers tried to micromanage, or I should say, mine the data of things that I'm involved in that have nothing to do with anyone.
Well, they were probably wondering why you were making an excess of $100,000 a year, but you were always broke. You couldn't pay your taxes. You couldn't pay your back taxes. You were going to lose your house, despite the fact that you were making ridiculous amounts of money. People naturally begin to wonder when you're begging and begging and getting so much, but you always need just a little bit more. People start to wonder what's going on. So you did this to yourself.
And try to bring all of my private stuff public.
You made all of your private stuff public by telling people you were going to lose your house, you couldn't afford this, couldn't afford that, couldn't pay the taxes. That's stuff that you don't need to share with your audience, but since you decided to do so, people started to figure out the bullshit and started to investigate you because you were lying.
And WWE Champions is the dumbest thing possible in all of that. Mobile game habits and spending and shit it's no one's business.
It isn't anyone's business, but once more, you made it everyone's business.
No one truly knows anything about how much I've ever spent, how much time I've spent. It's all bullshit.
Maybe not time necessarily, but I think it's safe to say that the detractor community has some pretty accurate and probably lowball estimations on how much you've spent. What's really sad about this is you probably don't realize how much you've spent.
It's all nonsense, half-truth, over-exaggerations.
Well, is it nonsense or is it half-truth? Because nonsense means it's all made up and none of it's true, or is it half-true? So here we begin to see this revisionist history. It's not true. Well, some of it's true. Even if it was, it's no one's business. You are watching somebody attempt to rewrite the narrative of what has actually happened.
No one will ever know the truth, because it's no one's business. How I spend my money and my time is absolutely of no one's fucking concern whatsoever.
Look how angry he's getting. Now he's starting to swear and sway and shake his head. All someone asked was, hey, are you going to play the game since now you're doing a wrestling show? That was it. And now here we are, and we've fallen into this pit. So he's very clearly still animated and heated and agitated about it, which, didn't he sell the account? We obviously know that he didn't. But if you sold it and it's not a part of your life anymore, why do we get this several minute long rambly little thing going on here?
It never was. But these people are nuts. So for years, they forged their giant conspiracy theories, their humongous, stupid, narratives that were always untrue or based on half truth.
Okay, so it's either not, once again, we're back to, is it not true or is it half true? And didn't you tell Stuttering Craig that you still play WWE Champions? Didn't you admit that Down from the Rafters was you? You lied and said you sold it, but you know, that account has like 2,500 days of like consecutive logins or something. So it's obviously still you. I don't really follow TJ Gamebox, but I know he updates a lot of that stuff and talks about how much money, you know, this guy spends. And Duty will talk about it from time to time and do some audits and, you know, things like that. But look at the agitation here. None of it's true. Well, some of it's true, and going back and forth like this.
And they turned it into a reason to hate DSP because DSP is a horribly addicted, terribly, you know, awfully behaving person who constantly is lying to you because every dollar that you give him on a stream, he spends on a mobile game. Never true.
Absolutely true. And nobody's mad at you because you played WWE Champions. Couldn't care less. What people are angry about, and you know this, everybody knows this, is because you say, I can't pay my internet bill. I can't afford to play this game. I can't afford my mortgage. Oh, I can't do this. I can't do that. Please, I need more money, more money, more money, more money, but you're already getting ridiculous amounts of money. So you were lying to people in order to fund, even if it wasn't an addiction, in order to fund your vices, your hobbies, your whatever, you were still lying to people, saying you needed money for one thing when you needed money for something else. Or saying, hey, I got to pay my taxes. I need $20,000. But maybe you only really needed 10, but you wanted 10K to spend on WWE Champions. That's what people are really angry about, is the amount of lies that were told. And are you backtracking right now? Because you already said it was you.
Never. Now, did I play mobile games? Yes. WWE Champions and other ones. Did I spend on mobile games? Yes. Did it bankrupt me? No.
Yes, it did. It absolutely did. There were other contributing factors. It cost you $11 billion to move across the country because you're the stupidest person on the face of the earth. And there were some other things. Going broke, charging up credit cards to try to go to conventions, to act like a big shot. But most of it was the, you know, people know that you spend 30 to 40, I think it's 40 to $50,000 a year on the mobile game, bro. It's been pretty well established.
Not at all. Trust me, the massive amounts of overspending that I did when I moved out here and I furnished this house 10 years ago.
See how he starts out with, trust me. And he says throughout this little rant here, people are crazy. People are nuts. People are obsessive. They have conspiracy theories. This is all language used by highly manipulative people in order to attempt to regain control over the narrative. So as he's trying to gain control, he's also attempting to rewrite it to make him not sound as bad as it really sounds, which is really bad. But as we see here, he's going to blame it on the move, and he will go on to say that, you know, the adpocalypse and all that crap, he wasn't making as much money. And so, you know, expenses went up, but money went down, and that was the problem, and so on and so forth. And yeah, that definitely would have made things difficult, but so will spending $40,000 a year on a mobile game. If you haven't seen Secret Limited's video, I think it's still up. Go watch it. Like I say, TJ Gamebox on Twitter talks about it. Of course, go follow, you know, Duty and check out those videos where they're all talking about it, and everybody else.
And then the fact that I juggled credit cards onto other credit cards and onto balance transfers and shit like that.
Don't you have a business degree? Just saying, continue.
All the while my income was dropping dramatically from YouTube because of troll activities like false copyright strikes and the like.
False copyright strikes really shouldn't affect you too much if they were false, but continue.
That's what got me into bankruptcy, not spending money on a mobile game.
I think those factors contributed, but it was absolutely the mobile game.
But that's the narrative they want to create.
And this is the narrative that you want to create.
Because they like to give a dramatic story so that they have something to talk about and get clickbait views.
Why would we randomly make something like that up? Well, again, I'm not necessarily a part, like of the detractor community, but what would they make up? Why would they make that up just to get views? It doesn't make any sense. What about the video where you were playing with Jasper and WWE Champions was very clearly on your phone? The bank leaks with all the money coming out of PayPal and all the money, there was like iTunes and all kinds of other stuff. The evidence that we very clearly have. And now you're attempting to just say none of that was a thing?
So, the reason that WWE Champions was a thing is because for me, I wanted to show people it didn't actually matter. Any of the bullshit that these people had so hyper focused on over all these years that it never mattered. And so by me playing WWE Champions publicly, by me showing you how to play the game and all the knowledge I had of it, by spending on it right in front of the eyes of thousands of people, I showed people that none of it made any difference and it had no power over me whatsoever.
Yeah, that's why you're doing this very, very angry rant, because none of this has any power over you whatsoever. That's why you spent $2,000 on a fake account that wasn't even your real account. That's why you wouldn't just show Stuttering Craig the information. Because let's not forget about that. Craig gave you a platform in which you could have cleared all this up. You had many opportunities to clear all of this up, and you chose not to.
And people not only liked it, they gave me money to spend on it.
Because they knew they were giving you money to spend on it. You absolute fucking moron. They knew they were giving you money. Just like what you do with your money is your business. If these cucks want to give you money to do Hogan pulls, they can do that. What you cannot do is tell people that you can't pay your fucking rent and you need money so you can do Hogan pulls. That's what everyone's mad about. Who gives a fuck if you play the game? Everybody plays a mobile game. Okay, maybe not everybody, but a lot of people play mobile games. Some are free, some are paid. Some people spend a lot of money on it and other people choose not to, and that's fine. And you can still do whatever the fuck you want. Okay, you're in control of your own destiny over here, guy. That's fine. But the problem is that you were lying to obtain the money.
You understand that? People were like,
do you understand?
Like, not only do we not care that you play mobile games, we're going to actively give you hundreds of dollars during the streams to then spend on that stream playing said mobile game.
It still doesn't take away from the fact that you lied to people and you deceived people and you scared people and had them nervous that you were going to be homeless, that you were going to have to quit doing YouTube. You didn't know what you were going to do. That scared people. That's awful. You played people. You played people like a fiddle. I honestly don't even have a problem with you sitting down and going, hey, I want to play WWE Champions. Someone give me $100 to do a pull. You know what? It's bullshit, but at least you're being honest about your bullshit. I don't think it's awesome. I would never do something like that because I've been taught something called shame, and I would never want to do that to people. I actually don't know if I'd be able to sleep at night, personally, if I did that. But if you want to do it, fine. At least be open and honest about your bullshit. In that case, no one can take anything away from you, but you lied about how much money you needed, how much money you had, and where it was going. And when you make your bankrupt, broke poorness everybody else's problem, you have now put it out there in the open. You can't get mad now that people dug around into your personal business. You made it everyone's business.
No one with a brain in their head that functioned rationally cared about WWE champions.
There we go, right there. More gaslighting. Anybody who is sane doesn't care. These rejects, these creeps, these insane people, these mentally ill people, they're the only ones who care. Gaslighting to let people know that anyone who talks about this is crazy and has mental health problems. And this is the gaslighting. This is the conditioning. This is somebody in a desperate struggle and attempt to control the narrative of the situation and attempting to spin that narrative in the healthiest way for them. What will make him look as good as possible? Well, of course, you change it to it's not true, and anybody who says that it is absolutely insane.
It's only the drama hound people who are absolutely screaming for internet drama. Oh, we want to see the downfall of someone on the internet, and we wish them pain and suffering so we can feel better about ourselves because we're miserable fucking wretches whose lives are meaningless, who have no positivity, no meaningful relationships, nothing of worth or value, and we're so upset about that, we want to see darksydephil fail.
What does that have to do with anything? I don't even entirely know if half of the detractor community wishes anything bad on you. You do this to yourself. No one has to wish anything bad on you. You're doing this on your own. Why are we miserable just because we're reporting on it and telling people, hey, this dude's pretty scammy. You might not want to give him any money. What in the hell's wrong with that? We need drama? I don't need drama. I don't have drama in my life. I've been on the internet quite publicly for 6 years. I don't have any drama. I'm sure there are people who don't like me. I don't really know who they are because you're not, popular on the internet if someone doesn't, if someone doesn't like you. So, I mean, there's that. I just don't understand this narrative.
So let's make everything in his life about mobile games.
Everything in your life is about mobile games, bro, because you are a slave to your addiction. This projecting you're attempting to do right now, oh, everyone's life is so meaningless and they don't have meaningful relationships. That's you, dude. That's you. You don't have friends. You told everybody in your family to go fuck theirself. You and your wife are super creepy fucking college dorm roommates at best who don't really like to see each other and try to schedule classes at different times so that you never have to see each other. You're the one whose life has no meaning. You are the one who is a slave to your addictions. You are the one looking for the drama.
Even though, to me, it's one tiny little compartmentalized part of my life. Literally sitting here.
Yeah, look at how tiny and insignificant it is. We're into about 4 minutes, I think, of him ranting on now, because I think he started at right about noon here, according to Rawphil time. And thank you, Rawphil, big ups. So he's been going on angrily. You can hear it in his tone. He's been going on angrily for 4 minutes now about this. Well, somebody did was ask if he was going to play the game again.
Playing a mobile game on my phone while I'm doing something else.
Like what?
You want to know when I play WWE Champions?
I'd love to.
When I'm relaxing.
Which is all you basically want to do. So basically every time you're not sitting in front of this camera working, which means on your day off, every day before you get on the stream, probably every time you tell people that you got to go take a piss, you run in there and do a pull. I've been convinced of that for years. Every time you have to go blow your nose or go to the bathroom or go say hi to Kat because she's home, you're doing a pull. I'm convinced this nobody spends 40 grand a year on something and it's a little teeny tiny part of their life. Absolute and utter bullshit.
At night after a day of work, maybe we're sitting on the couch with my wife and we got something on TV. We're watching a, reality show like Shark Tank or freaking a baking show or, we're just.
You're not watching TV with her. You're sitting there with your nose stuck in the phone. You ain't paying her a fucking lick of attention. And it shows how close you two aren't when you did those co-op streams with her. One of the dumbest things you could have ever fucking done, but that's another sad ass story for another time. Every second you are not sitting here, and probably even sometimes when you are sitting here but the camera's off, you are playing that game. But again, we're going to downplay it. We're going to minimize it. We're going to spin it to where if anyone talks about this, they look unhinged.
Watching something randomly, or maybe we're listening to some music, right?
Yeah, chicks really dig when you don't spend any time with them because your nose is buried in the phone. I don't know how she could keep her hands off you when you all were sitting here together.
Or we're having a drink at night. You pop it open, you play it for a little bit. That's WWE Champions. It's not some ultra serious major part of my life where I'm sitting there investing 10 hours a day playing it, dropping.
No, you're not investing 10 hours a day in it because you're sitting here about 6 to 7 hours a day, maybe 8. So no, but you're playing it for 3 hours after you get done with this. You're playing it for 3 hours, maybe not 3, because I'm convinced he sleeps until 5 minutes before he gets in front of the camera. But You're playing this game a few hours a day. But again, now we're going to go to what's called extremism. I'm not playing the game for 10 hours a day. Yeah, it probably wouldn't take you long to spend $1,000. You spent $2,000 and you do it on a night stream for a couple of hours. And over the course of like a month, you spent fucking $2,000. And that was probably you playing conservatively because you really wanted the money for your main account.
Thousands of dollars. These people are fucking nuts. Get
More
it?
gaslighting.
They made it all up.
We made it all up. Didn't you admit to being down from the rafters? So what did we make up? You can't deny how much money was spent on that account, and you said it was you. So what the fuck are you talking about?
Over-exaggerated. To this day.
Well, is it not true, or is it over-exaggerated? Because one proves that it is true, but maybe wrong, and one is that it's completely wrong. So again, which one is it? Well, you're just throwing out anything right now.
They are still doing it. And it's completely fabricated nonsense. It has nothing to do with reality. Okay? And the best part about it all is, even if it were all true, which it's not.
Oh boy, here's a great thing to play here. Even if it was all true, let's hear this.
Even if everything they said was true, people still don't care.
I think the people who you ripped off care. I think the people who you scammed care, or that if they understand that they've been scammed. A lot of people that gave you money for all that when you were begging, that you were about to be like homeless and shit, they're not around anymore. Huh. I wonder why that is.
And that's what me playing WWE Champions proved, that their broken fucking narrative was completely invalid.
I'm not exactly sure how it proved it.
Completely freed me from their bullshit narrative. And people stopped hating me because I exposed the bullshit.
I don't really know, what you exposed. You just sat down and played the game. And I don't care enough about you to hate you. It takes effort and time and energy to hating somebody. I don't like what you do. I think you're a scammy, grimy little swindler, but I don't hate you. That would take effort and time and energy that I'm not willing to put into you. You're highly narcissistic, you're annoying, you're dumb, you're frustrating, but that's no reason to hate somebody. You didn't rip me off. My money is still sitting in my bank account, so I don't really have a reason to hate you, because your pignosis can't get me, motherfucker.
Get it? That's what Champions was about. So after we played WWE Champions for a couple of months, it wore off. There was no more gimmick. No one cared.
Here we go. You lied about not playing WWE Champions. Why should we believe you about not spending thousands on it?
Cared about it anymore.
Good comment.
No one is hating on DSP for playing WWE Champions anymore. Nobody gives a shit that
I think a lot of people still give a shit, because here's the thing. The whole narrative he wants to spin here is, well, I'm not doing it now. So, what's the big deal?
I ever played it. So it's a dead topic. You notice no one brings it up anymore. No.
You're bringing it up right now. You have done this to yourself. You could have saw that question and went, nah, I don't think we're going to play it anymore. It was fun for a minute, but we're just going to move on. That's all that had to be. 7 seconds of, no, I just want to do a show about it. I'm not going to play the game anymore, but thanks for your question. Here we are, almost 6 minutes in.
No one comes into the chat. No one's making jokes about down from the rafters. No one cares. No one ever should have. That's the truth. No one ever should have cared about it. It never was anything of significance. The one big dramatic gotcha that they had on me was a nothing burger and never was anything.
What was that? What was that one big gotcha? You want to tell us what it is? No?
So,
okay.
We're done. That's all in the past. I don't see a single reason why anyone would care about WWE champions in the future. I don't think so. I don't think anyone would give a shit.
That was really all that had to be. Oh my God, had to share it, had to talk about it. Absolutely mentally unwell, unhinged rant. All right, thanks. See you in the next video.